Phase 5 car park. One rod we've made for our own backs is we've rather, and as you can see from the layout of the car park, focused attention on the really rather ugly and worn north elevation of the Phase 1 to the shops. Clearly these, well, I mean obviously these properties are let, so there's a limitation to what I can do. I've got a request out with Hoopers that they look at tarting up the staircase approach, painting it a sort of terracotta colour, and improving the sort of landscaping in front. But we may have to look at a more radical approach to this block, I think. I'm wondering whether pargeting might be appropriate. We need to add character to it because it has become an important focal point. I'll just walk you down here briefly. You're in effect on the Phase 5 car park, and you come down this way to join the link road. So you can see how important the elevation is. You're looking straight at it. Eye starts to turn about here. Then you've got the pleasant Lloyd's Bank building, and onto the link road, as will be, which, as I've said, is going to be covered with a special material finish. What I am going to do is I'm going to walk you up from the village centre. In fact, I should be walking on the path to the left, which you can see behind the Harris fencing. Instead, I'm walking on the temporary path we've provided for residents while the works are being undertaken. This will eventually be landscaping, so it still looks a bit rough at the moment, but this will give you a sense of the sort of street scene as it unfolds in front of you, really walking up to the lawn. Now I've got passing the Dutch gabled house and on to the crescent. In the distance, I think you can see the manor house on the, or just the tip of the manor house on the right. And look at the curve on that brickwork, superb. The lamppost has got the wrong head on it. That's going to be replaced soon. We've created quite a nice little feature in each porch, which deals with the meter boxes, which otherwise look so ugly to the front. Instead, we've got a feature which looks really quite attractive. Here is the sort of cottage in the middle. Green, or the lawn, sorry, Hamlet C1, back to our curved crescent. And then at the end here, we've got the lodge bungalow. This is just a standard bungalow for rent. We've used this design before on the stirrups, but as you can see, we've dressed it up to look like a lodge house. I think it looks very sweet. Incidentally, you'll notice the dreadful bulkhead light fittings. They are a mistake. We are changing those. Okay, just to give you an idea of the outlook. There will be landscaping in the form of a tree belt between the two developments. And there's the manor house. Right, this is a view on the North Green, or the lawn, of the two semi-detached houses to the south of Hamlet C1. This is the area which will beef up with trees in here. I would have liked to have taken housing all the way up here, but you know the problems we've had with the planners. The little lodge bungalow that sits on its own, which I think looks very sweet. And then the crescent. One thing you'll notice, Chris, is there are people in these pictures. I mean, so often when you look at modern developments these days, they're empty. But what the absolute pleasure of taking photographs at Martlesham, there's always tons of people around, which has got to be a sign of success. And then down to the car park. I'm going into sun now, so it won't be a very satisfactory picture. But as you can see, the cars don't look bad. They're hidden up to the bumpers at least, and the Phase 4 flat block on the left, acting as a sort of bookend. This is I'm now walking down from Hamlet C1. You're actually looking through to some houses of ours we've built beyond. This is the area to be landscaped. There's the bungalow. And then the end crescent. I will actually, before I finish this video, take you inside, well, certainly inside one of the crescent houses, so that you get a sense for it. The path I'm walking on has to be taken up and seeded and returned to the green. The one on the right is the permanent one. I think if, again, you can see the beautiful curve on the work. I mean, everything had to be curved. The guttering had to be curved. Every plain tile that went on that roof had to be cut to achieve it. The bricks themselves are just straightforward bricks, but they look absolutely perfect. Coming round, you'll again see the importance of that ruddy north elevation. Any thoughts, any bright ideas, gratefully received, but I think effective use of colour and possibly portraiting, as I say, may get us around our problem to some extent. And that's down and into the village centre. Right, I'm just going to walk you down the link road, which, as I say, is freshly put in. This is the Phase 5 flat block. Looks delightful. Now, actually I'll just move on a bit. If you have a look down there, you will see the crescent that was produced by Fielden and Mawson, which really wasn't that satisfactory. Those are all 3-bedroom detached houses, and as you know, we built these other 2 on the end to look like an extension of the crescent. But in fact they are, each of them are 2 semi-detached 2-bedroom houses. Give you a view into, now there's fencing and all sorts of things to go up here, but this is a view into the back of the crescent. There's quite a lot of work going on at the moment. Again, each tile had to be cut, and sadly the contractor has left some dust on the roof, which I think you'll just be able to see on the photograph. He's been told he's got to take that down. We built a store building, and there's a pleasant metal railing and brick fence to the front. There you are. Right. Now the individual you see there on our left, on the left, is the site agent Liam Sexton. He's done me a splendid job. He's a bit camera shy, so I'm having to do it from a distance. In fact, you know, I can't make out, looking through the camera, what the hell they're up to, but they look engrossed in it. Right, this is the site setup, which is in fact on Phase 6. You can see Phase 6 in the background. I'll show you some more shots of that later. This is the Fielden and Mawson crescent, which didn't really work. But we have as I said, extended it with these two properties, both of which they look similar, but they are in fact semi-detached houses. Right, Chris, we're in the back of the crescent now. That's the back of the flat block, in fact. That's the back of the Dutch gable house. In the foreground is a store building which will be used for lawnmower as well as tenants' bike storage. There's the back of the crescent with those unfortunate streak marks on the roof there. They actually look more pronounced on video than they do in reality. And then there is the back of the bungalow up towards Hamlet's C1. And as you can see, block pavias are being laid in the back. It will be quite a heavily car parked area. There's fencing to go up on this side. But it will look quite attractive. What I'll do is I'll see if I can get you in the back of the bungalow. Don't know how much you'll see through the video camera. You see there's quite nice detailing. The walls are good. I mean, everything's reasonably good quality. Now, let's hope you'll be able to see something, at least. Yep. Right. There's the kitchen. Quite simple, nothing too fancy. This is a very large living room. That's the view out into the back garden. Let's take you through into the hall. That's the view out of the front door. Not a bedroom to the left, and a bedroom to the right, and on my left hand a bathroom. So fairly simple, straightforward, and through out into the front. I don't know if we can, yeah, I think we can get you into a house, so let's walk down and get you into the first house. That's the meter box. I'm afraid the autofocus won't like this. No, it doesn't. You can see the delightful view people have through onto the green, or will have. This is the kitchen dining room. We've had to fit bottled glass to the door, let the light through from the south side to the living room. That looks like a mastic man or a what? Oh, I'm sorry. It's a carpenter. You can see our boiler, kitchen, and there's the bottled glass. Very attractive, really. And that's the view through to the living room. The windows are quite small, and you get this sort of feeling looking through the video camera, it's rather dark. But it isn't. Very pleasant indeed. Just take you upstairs. Try not to fall down. I don't know how we do it. But whenever you arrive at the top of the stairs of a Martlesham house, you seem to be faced with a view of the bathroom. It's just the way it flipping well works out. The door is off-centred, so you don't quite get a view of the loo. This is the second smaller bedroom in here. This is the view looking out onto the square where they're working at the moment. Back into the landing, trying not to collide with too much. Splendid first bedroom, bedroom one. Autofocus doesn't like it at all, so I'll give up on that score. And this again is the view over the green, and there you are, there's the manor house. No bullseye windows, I'm afraid, but on the cottage in the centre of the crescent we have got a 1999 date stone. These rather fun Gothic arches which will remain, and then behind the doors are rather ornate, and they will be painted a brilliant yellow, which may sound revolting, but it'll look very, very nice. I'm actually standing on the new path now, looking up towards C1. Here you see a porch. The hideous bulkhead lights will come off and will be replaced. What we've done is we put, we've tried to make it look like one house with one door in the front and the other door in the side, although of course it is a semi like the rest. This is just a slightly closer look at the Dutch gable house. You'll notice that in addition to building it, we have used Flemish bond. The burgundy of the front door is not burgundy enough. It's going to be made darker. Just tonight there's a view through here to the back of the flat blocks, and the store building as well. What I am going to do is take you inside a flat block. Still a lot of work to be done inside the flat block, and it's likely to be pretty dark. But we've got some fairly magnificent flats up here. All of them in this block are one bed. They are handsome size. As you can see, you've got fair-faced brick in the common area itself. Right, this is the a handsome flat. This is the living room, and look at that. That's looking over the link road to the Lloyd's Bank building. You've got this patio door here. Eventually you're going to have a balcony in there. Nice green painted railings. Then looking back around here, there is the kitchen. Through here is the bedroom. I mean, really, this is a studio flat. I mean, in that you've got a splendid separate bedroom, but you can also, let me just give you the view across. There's the link road. And then back up here to the bathroom. Sorry about the autofocus, nothing I can do about it. It doesn't like being indoors very much. There you are. Take you into one of the flats that looks down towards phase 4. It's probably too bright to take an effective photograph. This is another flat here. Just passing on my left the bedroom, on my right the bathroom, and into the living room. Now, we've deliberately, actually not got a bad view through there, we've deliberately put this large window in. Yeah, there's the phase 4 flats and there's the car park. Deliberately put this large window in to make it look like a mill building. I hope it's going to work. I think it looks very good. And just back here, again, sorry about the autofocus. We'll get there eventually, and that is the kitchen there. Coming back out of the phase 5 flat block and onto the path south, looking south, you've got the village centre square. We're going to have to widen. You'll see that there are 2 Anglian water signs that sort of protrude into the natural path line. So we're going to have to widen that path slightly into the village centre. Again, I'm afraid, importance of that rather deadly elevation. Maybe I overreact, I don't know. As I say, any views gratefully received. It's the church centre. I'm now on the main village green. You can see something's going on at the pavilion. You must be pleased, Chris. I mean, this is all evidence that the hard work that you put in those early days have paid off. And people may not be overtly grateful. I just don't think it's in people's nature to be overtly grateful. But the best compliment you can have is that they're using it. Look at it. Great fun. Mums and kids. Now, returning to subject, which is phase 6 now. There you are, there's phase 6 as it appears through the gap. I've got the Douglas Bader on my right and the phase 6 block. Not as happy with this as I am with the other. We were heavily influenced by the ruddy planners on this one. And I rather wish I hadn't been, but you know, one at the end of the day has got to get a planning consent. I'll walk you through. The car park hasn't been quite opened yet. So everyone's having to park on our phase 5 car park or on the old existing eastern car park. So that is the phase 6 flats. I mean, it certainly doesn't look very attractive. You've got all the Harris fencing in front. You've got a mound of topsoil. We did actually have a slight contamination problem because we're building on the runway. You look through to the Fielden and Mawson job behind. We've got some cars parked here, but not many. We are on this entrance to the shopping centre erecting well, what we know as the obelisk. It's an architectural feature with a propeller in it. Try and increase the importance of this approach to the village centre. I'll just pan in a bit on the phase 6. Won't look bad when it's all cleared away. As you can see, the car park itself is quite an attractive mix of pavias and tarmac. Kept the tree, and the soil isn't pushed up against his trunk, although it may look it on video. There's the sheltered housing scheme, and back to the church centre. I'm just going to do a round robin shot here. I'm looking down the drift towards the Douglas Bader pub. You then got the phase 2 block. The car park will be open at the end of this week. In front you've got this bottle bank. That is going to be moved. We've allocated a position for the bottle bank. Then in the background the phase 6 flats. The flats are generally pretty much the same in layout to the phase 5 flats. All looks pretty messy at the moment, but it'll look tidy in no time at all. There's, is it Bader Court? Bader Court, yeah. Scout hut. Sounds of children in the primary school, and the packed car park to the pavilion. This is just the new entrance, as will be into the phase 6 flats. Now, I'm afraid to say, with a library lorry there, you're going to have to use your imagination to a certain extent. But on the right you've got Bader Court, in the centre down the drift you've got the church centre, and on the left you've got Martlesham Heath Village Centre phase 6. And it's quite a good frame shot. Now coming round, got the Fielden and Mawson crescent on the left, phase 6 on the right. The last two houses of the Fielden and Mawson crescent are in fact Hoopers, and they're the semi-detached houses. We will have some nice details on the phase 6 flats. how traditional they are to our part of the world, I can't be sure. But I don't think that matters too much. They've got quite a lot of character. You've got this detail on the end of the red brick portion. And then coming onto the white brick portion, you've got this rather pleasant stone string course. In the centre then, and this it appears both at the front and the back, you've got a rather attractive gable detail, though frankly it's not wide enough nor big enough. Should have been twice as bold, but such is hindsight. Now I have to say, I hope you can see this, I like the view into the centre from this approach, far less formal and fronted than the other. But a jumble of rather nice roofs, I like it. It's got lots of character to it. Again, another view. And you can see right the way through to the Phase 4 flat block. But all the buildings, in my view, are of the right general scale. They're big, they're 3-storey. This is the view of the link road from Valiant Road, from the west. As you can see, the link road itself is very much narrower than Valiant Road. This is all slow traffic down, and it winds. Coming back down, it's a site set up again. Church Centre you can see in the far distance. And then on your left, Phase 6 flats, Valiant Road, and finally Hamlet C1 in the distance, and in the foreground Field and Mawson's effort. Right, Chris, I think that's it. Incidentally, on the left, across the site compound here, there will be another access into the village centre car park. So all the car parks are linked in. I'm quite pleased with it. There are still certain areas that concern me, particularly that north of Phase 1. And also, I am concerned that we might still have some drop-dead areas as viewed from the green. I think the other thing I'd like to be thinking about is, we're doing quite well on rentals here, is question mark, could we get developing that opportunity area? I'd love to get some 3-storey town housing in. I'm sort of off the idea of old people's homes or whatever, but perhaps we can talk about it. Take your hat off and look a little more. I think you're more respectable with your hat on.